I have talked to dozens of open and known sperm donors and hundreds of recipients by now to find out how many recipients actually end up suing their donor for child support, because that's something that a lot of people are worried about before they go into the private donation industry, especially donors. Of course, recipients might also be worried about donors, going after child care or wanting to have custody of the child, but it's oftentimes or more so the other way around, that donors are sued for child support. And all the donors I've talked to have helped about 2,000 recipients. And this little private study that I did myself to find out how many recipients end up suing their donors came to about 3% of recipients end up getting into legal troubles with their donors or suing them for child support. Now, these are donors that did not screen their recipients well and did not take legal precautions to make sure that they're protected. Now, in the Open Donor Association, I always give three main advices to make sure that the donors I work with don't have to worry about child support. Number one is to protect yourself legally with a contract if you can. In most places in the world, you can have a child with whoever you want, except for maybe extremely Muslim countries. You might get in trouble, you might get stoned if you have a child with the wrong person there. You want to be careful, but in most countries, most places in the world, you can have a child with whoever you want. Now, in those countries though, or in many countries, you cannot protect yourself from child support with a contract. So if you can, do it. If you can't, number two, make sure you are flexible in your location, right? You want to make sure that you can change your location. You have multiple passports. You don't have only one home base. So if you get into trouble and someone tries to sneak behind your back and sue you for child support, you can pull out the next passport and get going. That's a real advice. That's really something I would worst case do. The third one, though, I think this one is better, is to make sure you have no assets under your name and you don't have a high income under your name. Maybe you have a business in a different country, or a friend of you and you own a business together and he gets all the money. Your assets are under your brother's name or your best friend's name or whatever. Just make sure that if someone decides to go after you, you can't just be destroyed. Because I know donors who stopped being donors because one of their recipients sued them. I know donors who became depressed and suicidal because recipients went after them. These are men that have families. These are men that wanted to do the right thing, wanted to do something good, and someone else realized, oh, this is a donor who's making some money, so I'm going to take advantage of that, which is sad. But again, be a giver, make sure people can't take from you, and take this advice.